Welcome, welcome, welcome to TubeBuddy today. We thank you very much for being here. My name is Daniel Batal. I am here with Mr. D. Nimmin, and we're doing something really exciting today that we have not done on this particular channel before. TubeBuddy has decided to start bringing some of the creators together who have live streamed on the channel previously. You're going to start seeing pairs in the future that work out together. All different types, men, women, all of us will be mixed in different ways. But today we're starting this off with myself and my friend, Mr. D. Nimmin.
Daniel, how's it going, man?
Good, man. I'm so glad to be here with you, pal. This is something a little different, huh? How's everybody doing in the chat room today? We good out there?
Yeah.
We alive?
I see Andrew Can is here. Icarot, how's it going? Dion's Travels, how's it going? Launchpad Astronomy. Gang's all here. They are filling up. This is pretty cool.
Tell us in the chat room. Do we sound okay? Is our mic level mixed? Can you hear us okay? If there's anything that you think we're definitely flying by the seat of our pants today. D is in Thailand. I'm in New England. TubeBuddy's out in California, and somehow, but we're trying to make all these time zones work together in a way that will be successful for you guys. So if we're sounding good and you can hear everything, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. So Daniel, today we are talking about simplifying the YouTube algorithm. What does that mean? How can you simplify the YouTube algorithm? It seems like it's this huge thing that looms over every creator on the platform. How many times have you heard people say that I can't figure out the algorithm? The algorithm hates me.
That's a huge one, right?
So we're going to explain. We're going to break this all down today and explain it, how it all works.
Well, at least most of it. There's some secrets we're just not going to reveal because we need our channel to outperform yours. No, but seriously, one of the things that Dee and I talk about a lot is it can be overwhelming. I think people think that YouTube is this monstrous mathematical equation that is unconquerable and unsolvable. And they come to the platform, we've all done it, especially when you're a newer channel, you fall into the platform and everything just seems so vast and so hard to wrap your head around. And what Dee and I have been able to do on our own channels, because both of our channels, you should know, aren't that old. My channel is under 2 years old. Dee, how old is your channel now?
Also under 2 years old.
And we've both managed to get Dee's channels. I hate him sometimes. He's doing so well. Dee, you're currently at about 76,000. How many subscribers you have?
Today, I hit 75,000. Today.
Congratulations, my man. 75,000 subscribers. I think I just broke.
Today.
I just broke today. It was a perfect timing. I just broke 50 about a week ago. But it shows you that in this day and age, in 2020, you can still get out there and you can build a successful YouTube channel if you understand some of the simple ways that YouTube actually does work. Because it can be confusing. It can feel overwhelming. But Dee and I talk a lot, and some of the things that if you can sort of move those heavy things aside and get your head aligned so that you're thinking in one very specific track and not let all the craziness weigh you down, you'll find it a lot easier to grow your channel and find success on the platform. What do you think, Dee?
No, I completely agree. And the first thing that I think we should start with is by clarifying that it's not one algorithm. YouTube is algorithms. It's plural. It's not singular. So let's start with that. Let's call it the YouTube algorithms. It's important that everyone understands that. And people are really filling up the chat right now. I see McNutt's reviews. How you doing, Sweeney Dunstan? Nice to see you, my man. Janvo Olivo, how are you doing? Travel hacking teachers. Congratulations, Eileen. How are you doing? So you agree with that, Daniel, right?
100%. Yep. So
right.
The way that the system is built, so the ecosystem of YouTube is really, there's all these little algorithms are just mathematical equations where they're taking a bunch of different functions and plugging them in to try to get a specific result. It's sort of like a recipe. And they'll mix different things in different areas like click-through rates or how long a viewer watches, all these data points that are thousands of miles long, and they'll mix them together to come up with an equation, like an answer to, if you put these all together, what does it spit out for an answer? But there's, like Dee said, there's not one, there's multiple that all are looking at different things. They're looking at, there's algorithms for the suggested traffic. There's algorithms for the way search results are popped up. There's algorithms for what you're fed on things like your homepage when you first come to YouTube. But all of this years ago started getting controlled by a larger thing that we should pay attention to, and that's the artificial intelligence, and we call that the AI. So they started using, because Google bought YouTube, Google Brain is the AI that they brought in and incorporated into YouTube so that it controls all these algorithms and literally becomes, instead of just a bunch of math equations, the AI, the artificial intelligence, takes this data and starts acting upon it. And all the humans on the other end will watch what happens after a period of time, and they'll go, okay, we've got this result. This is how well YouTube is growing overall and how well videos are being served out, and is YouTube as a platform being successful? And then they'll go in and they'll tweak each little algorithm in different ways. And we've seen this happen. One little algorithm might get tweaked where suggested traffic might get pushed a little harder for certain niches, or certain viewers might see more of a certain thing. It's really about viewers. And as these each get tweaked, then they stand back. They let the AI take all the information, gather it, and work on the fly. And then they keep looking at it like, is YouTube growing? Is it doing the right thing? Are the viewers happy? Are they satisfied? Are we giving them the thing that they want? And understanding that that's really YouTube's main goal, is to find out a way to satisfy viewers as much as possible, starts unraveling this whole mystery of the algorithm.
Now, in addition to everything you just said, which is 100% spot on, the algorithms go even a step further. They're not only looking at your click-through rate, they're not only looking at your audience retention, and they're not looking at all, I mean, in addition to looking at all of that, they're also looking at the device that you're on. They're also looking at the device that you're on at particular times of the day. Are you in transit? Are you on your phone? Are you looking on a TV? Are you looking on a computer? Because all of that can change what YouTube serves you. If YouTube looks at your user pattern, and all of this is based on your user history, right? What do you like to look at? Well, it's not just what do you like to look at. It's what do you like to look at when you're on your computer? What do you like to look at when you're on your phone? What do you look at when you're on a phone when you're moving? Maybe you're in a subway, maybe you're in the back of an Uber, right? The algorithm looks at all of these things, and they can serve you videos based on length and topics based on your user history. If YouTube sees that you watch shorter videos when you're on your phone, guess what they're going to suggest to you? Guess what's going to show up on your browse feed? You're going to see shorter videos if you're on your phone, if they realize that that's what you like to look at when you're on your phone. Now, Daniel, in terms of different traffic sources, let's back it up a little bit. Let's get into like browse, suggested, and search. Let's go over that. If you want to explain the difference between those so people understand what those traffic sources are.
100%. And I know a lot of you guys probably think like, I kind of know what that all means, but sometimes looking at it from a slightly different perspective can help. Like Dee just made a great point. I'm going to just elaborate 1 second on the thing Dee said, that, you know, if you ever tried this, if you go in and start looking at whatever, pull up YouTube on your phone and look what's recommended on your homepage. While your phone is open, go to your computer and open up YouTube and look what's recommended on your homepage. Go on, if you use a TV, I use YouTube on my TV, open up your television and see what's recommended. And you'll find that even you as a viewer are being recommended completely different things, because YouTube is breaking down your viewer behavior, like Dee said, by device, but not offering you the same thing on each one. They'll literally show you different things, knowing, oh, you're watching television, you tend to watch a little longer video, we're going to change what we recommend, even though you have both open at the same time.
Sometimes they can be the same.
They can be.
More often than not, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to watch these really long, epic things. Like I watched, I signed up and I watched the Cobra Kai series, which was always recommended on my television. It was all over my television, and it would show up on my mobile device, but not as much because I didn't watch it as much from there. I like to sit at home. I don't know if you guys watched Cobra Kai. It was a great YouTube series. It was really good. So I got that a lot. But again, when we talk about exactly what Dee was saying, the different traffic sources, there's sort of the big two, which divide into three. I think a lot of you guys know what YouTube search is, right? That's YouTube itself as a search engine, meaning that you can go up into the search bar and you can type in something that you might be looking for, and YouTube takes the information that you put in there and tries to give you data and information and videos back on what you've told them you might be looking for. So there's a lot of match points in there. The other side of it is what we call recommended. And here's a really important thing I want you guys to understand. Recommended, some people say, oh, suggested. That's YouTube's not suggesting my videos. Suggested is its own traffic source. A better term is recommended, is YouTube recommending my content, because they recommend content in different ways and in different places. Suggested is videos that you're going to see as the up next. If you're watching a video and it's up next, maybe on the sidebar, or even when the video ends, it'll show you an up next. But suggested also includes videos that are found within the links of other video descriptions. Something to keep
And
in
your
mind.
own.
Really
Yeah.
important.
It links out. Yeah.
Yep. And another, no, but YouTube also recommends content to people on their homepage. And they track their homepage is like when you first open up the app and you go, okay, I haven't gone anywhere yet. And that's called browse. So YouTube is recommending, it's a very similar algorithm. It's trying to figure out the viewer behavior and what they might click and watch, but it's recommending just in different locations. So recommended browse, probably when you first come to the platform, things like even your subscription feed, which they even have said that they've played around with a little bit and tested, trying to put, instead of just in order, what you've been watching a little more of. So there's been some tests over the year. It's more curated than you think. But if you come to the platform, browse. That's YouTube going, hey, you just came here? Browse. Let me see if we can put you in the right direction. What might you like? Once you're in and you're watching a video, suggested, they'll put it next to it or up at the end. Or maybe if you have a link in the description that you've put into your content that might get someone to click, that's part of suggested traffic too. And Dee, remember we were talking about this. Dee and I were actually having a conversation earlier about the way that YouTube thinks about the viewer and the information it knows about it. And a funny thing that I was saying to Dee was, that it breaks up kind of simply. Search, when you come in as search, YouTube knows a ton about you because you're typing into the search bar. It knows what you want. You're telling it, I want to see videos like this. So it knows what to feed you. And when you look at something like browse traffic, you've just come to the platform. YouTube doesn't know what you're up to today. They're looking at you like, all right, I'm going to give you some variety. Let's see where you'll go. It knows a lot less about what you're going to do today. It may know your viewer history, but it knows a lot less about you today. So that browse thing can be very cool. Like when you just publish a video and you're trying to get people to click and watch it, being on a browse page and actually getting people to click right when you publish can be super important. Something like suggested, they already know you're watching one video and they go, okay, we have a little idea of what this person is watching, what they're interested in, and we can figure out what they might want to watch next. So all these different traffic sources, as complicated as they can sound, is really just YouTube looking at you as a viewer or any of your viewers watching your content and trying to understand what can we feed them next to keep them watching.
Yeah, I'm going to try to simplify that even more if I can. So YouTube will look at everything you've done in the past. They look at your user patterns. They look at the times, the devices. They look at everything that you've done in the past. So when you go to browse, right, the first thing you're going to see, YouTube is predicting what they believe based on your user history, what you're interested in today. And then once you start watching, then as things start to get suggested to you, that is suggested. Watch next, right? That's where suggested comes in. But it all starts with browse, and that's based on your user history. And then once you tell them exactly what you want, like Daniel said, I'm looking for how to melt crayons. I don't even know where that came from.
Dude, I was just about to make that video. Don't give away that.
That was probably the weirdest thought that's ever come out of my head since I've been at least 30.
Please don't steal my next video idea.
How to melt crayons, right? You're telling YouTube, I want to learn how to melt crayons. So guess what they're gonna show you, and they're going to continue to show you as long as they tell that you're interested in it. So if you're watching those videos one after the other, you're going to continue to be shown crayon melting videos.
So if you're way deep into the crayon melting thing, Dee, why does YouTube why is YouTube so excited about trying to figure out what to serve us next? What's the point of keeping understanding what to give us next?
YouTube wants to find out what we want next because they want us to keep watching. When we keep watching, guess what YouTube gets to do? YouTube gets to keep showing ads. YouTube's a business, right? YouTube wants to show ads. So the more content that they can give us that's relevant that we want to watch. Hey, we want to keep these users happy. They want us to start watching and continue to watch videos one after the other, after the other, after the other. That's the purpose. That's what they want us to do. So as a creator, the more you can help YouTube do that, the more you bring people onto the platform and you can get them watching one video after another video after another video. That's where YouTube's going to say, hey, this particular channel, these videos, they're creating a lot of watch time, a lot of session time. Let's pay a little more attention to these videos or this channel as a whole.
That is such a huge point right there. If you can understand exactly what Dee just said, YouTube wants.
And nobody can understand what I just said.
Well, that's why your mom had a brother. You know, you have
Yes,
a few of them.
right.
So it's like she had an interpreter.
They were like, well, we failed with the first one. Let's try again.
But this is really important when you start thinking about the way that YouTube starts judging videos, starts figuring out whether it will recommend them more. When I'll ask this in the chat room, of you guys in the chat room, how many of you guys, what traffic source is the hardest for you to comprehend when you think about recommended or search traffic, recommended being browse or suggested? Which one of those traffic sources is really, really hard for you that you guys just can't quite wrap your head around? Look for some answers in here, but I want to talk about exactly what Dee said. YouTube is just trying to figure out a way to keep people watching. And when your channel falls into alignment with that and starts doing that thing effectively, that's the greatest chance of your channel actually being promoted or recommended more on the platform. And you don't have to be the greatest channel on YouTube. You just have to do well within the niche and with the audience that you're trying to reach. It's much more compartmentalized. We hear a lot about niching down, why it might be important to get growth to think about niching down. Because variety channels used to do really well on the platform, but we found nowadays if you can be more focused, then you're not trying to compete against 9 million channels. You're just trying to do that one thing really well. Dee's channel, for instance, 75,000 subscribers is amazing.
Today.
Boom. That's only today. By the time this stream ends, I want to see 76. He's got a channel that does nothing but talk. He talks about nothing but mastering your mobile, using your mobile device to create videos, to be able to build your YouTube channel. It's all about mobile-related things. So it's really easy for anyone who's using their phone as their centerpiece as a creator would be attached to Dee. They wouldn't necessarily be attached so much to my channel because I don't focus on just mobile in that way. Even though I do a creator thing, it's different. It's different than that. Mine tends to lead more towards people who want to make better content, specifically using the Filmora software. So people who are more interested in that, you can see these huge lines of division where someone who goes, today I want to figure out how to grow a channel with using my mobile phone, they're going to go to Dee. But if they're like, well, I'm on my desktop, I'm trying to use Filmora, and I'm trying to edit this video, they might come my way. And being able to define those audiences that you're trying to reach and make content that you think they might want to watch, not just one piece, but catalogs of information, catalogs of videos that keep them watching your channel more than another, huge, huge, huge advantage when it comes to growing on YouTube.
What you just said about getting people to watch your channel more than another, to simplify all of this, and I'm probably even saying this too early. And by the way, if you do have questions, we have a form down in the description below, and one of the moderators can probably link that in the chat right now. Please drop your question into the form, and then at the end of this live stream, we'll be answering questions off of that form. So I want to put that out there. There it is. Daniel Batal just dropped it in the chat right there. So to simplify this even more, first of all, how many of you have gone through the YouTube Creator Academy? If you've gone through the YouTube Creator Academy, if you've started it, if you're midway through, if you've completely finished it, type in yes right now into the chat. I'm curious to see who's actually involved in the YouTube Creator Academy. And if you haven't, type in no. Because one of the things that you're going to learn early on there is YouTube will tell you that the algorithm follows the audience. The algorithm follows the audience. What that means is when you upload a video, YouTube does not try to find viewers for your video. Just the opposite is happening. YouTube is trying to find videos for the viewers, right? And you have to have a mind shift change on that. YouTube is trying to find videos for the viewers. So if you first focus on your audience, if you first focus on the viewer, instead of trying to figure out ways to trick the algorithm or trying to decode the algorithm, thinking, why does the algorithm hate me? The algorithm doesn't hate you. What happens is, and Daniel, please feel free to correct me here if I'm wrong, but what happens is when you publish a video, YouTube does suggest it. YouTube does send that video out. What happens is not enough people are responding to your videos. Maybe your click-through rate is low. Maybe your watch time is low. So YouTube says, okay, we're not getting much activity from this video. Why should we show it? Why should we continue to show it to new people and new groups? Because people are not watching it. But if just the opposite happened, if you had a very high click-through rate and people were watching your video longer amounts of your video, they're going to keep suggesting it out to new people and new groups of people. Now, to simplify that even more, if you can get people to click on your thumbnails more than other people, if you can get people to watch your videos more than other people, guarantee you're going to win on the platform. To simplify it that much, get more clicks, get more views than the other videos that are competing for your title, right? You're competing against other videos for your title. Daniel, would you agree with that?
I agree 100%. It's one of the things that I think can be confusing to creators is when you think about how YouTube, exactly like you said, is serving out your videos. I think a lot of creators say, oh, did that I put my video out, but YouTube didn't recommend it, which is
Right.
kind of a confusing thing. You think that YouTube's not recommending your content because it may not be getting the views that you think it should. So you immediately say, well, that's YouTube not recommending my content. But the opposite is true. If you go into your analytics, you can immediately see how many impressions that your video has gotten. An impression is every time YouTube puts it in front of somebody. And it doesn't matter if that's 100 impressions, 1,000 impressions, or 1,000,000 impressions. YouTube
They still take data from that.
They are collecting all of that data. And they're using that data to decide what to do next. So even if you're only put out in front of a few people, you want to think like, man, if I didn't get recommended more, why did those people not click when they were given the option of choosing my video?
Nick Nimmin's in the house.
Nick.
So let's to simplify that a little bit. Let's say Daniel and I put up a video. Say it's the same exact video, right? But let's say impression-wise, out of 100 impressions for both of us, right? We both have 100 impressions, but my click-through rate is higher than his, right? Maybe my click-through rate is 15% and his is 2% out of that same 100 impressions. And then maybe my watch time is more than his, right? People are watching more of my video, more audience retention, right? People are watching more of it or even to the end. YouTube's going to say, even on a smaller scale, they're going to say, okay, people are interested in that. They're clicking on that. They're watching the video. Let's show it to a couple more people, right? And it's kind of like, even at a small scale, it happens in micro moves. And if you have a larger channel, it happens in larger movements. But, you know, even at 100 impressions, if you're not getting those clicks, if they're not watching your video, YouTube says, hey, people aren't interested. And that's why your video dies.
And that's, you know, what a really good point is there is understanding the different ways that you make it discovered. That's a big thing I don't think people talk about enough is the word discovery. Every time you make a video, just like Dee was talking about, you're trying to figure out ways to get your little video in a sea of, what are we talking now? What's the new number now? 500 watch hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. Is that where we're at now?
A lot. Hundreds.
It's just an insane amount. So they said that it would take one person like 83 years to watch all the videos that were uploaded up to YouTube in one day. It's just an insane amount of content. So you're always thinking, how can I be found in that sea of content? But what you have to understand is it's not every viewer who comes to YouTube is being served that same